You're welcome back. You're still watching TVC Breakfast. Now, as political parties gear up for the 2027 general elections, a fresh wave of tension is brewing within the African Democratic Congress. Supporters of the party appear to be divided over a choice of presidential candidates, with some backing a familiar face while others push for new leadership. The internal disagreement is raising concerns about the party's unity and preparedness ahead of the polls, although leaders of the African Democratic Congress have called for calm and internal dialogue. Observers say how the ADC's resolve this crisis could shape its chances at the ballot. Joining us via Zoom is public affairs analyst Darlington Umoro. Good morning, Mr. Darlington.
Good morning, my dear sister.
How are you doing? I'm good. I missed to have you in the studio. Good morning. How are you doing?
Well, it's not my fault. I should have been there, but I will always follow the directives as given by you guys from the studio.
Amazing. Thanks for joining us. But let's just go straight into this. And let me start with this first question. We've seen a lot of dialogues. There was an interview recently where we saw Peter Obi say he's not going to be the vice. Now, the confusion is, how is this party going to put together to see who comes out, as the presidential candidate? And it seems like that is a big problem for them. So, Mr. Moro, quickly, if I will get your opinion, what do you make of this?
Well, the first thing you ask yourself is, what is the intent of this conglomeration, that is trying to come on board? What is their motive? What is their intent? What do they want to achieve? It's not out of place for political parties or group of persons to come together to want to say they want to be a part of a political party with a particular arrangement, with a particular intent. Politics, we know, is all about selfish interest, but what is the basic interest of this ADC? These persons coming into ADC at this point in time, we have heard them speak. We have heard some of them say it's about hunger, but hunger for what? Or is it hunger for power? Is it true hunger? Is it that some have also said they want to send the current president back to Lagos? So none of them has actually talked about wanting to serve this country or serve the persons they are going there to represent. But if you ask me, just like you have said, this conglomeration, will it work in the first instance? Now they have not started. We are beginning to see issues. These persons that are coming into these parties, this particular political party, talking about Peter Obi. Peter Obi has his interest. He contested under the Labour Party in the last dispensation and contested as the presidential candidate of Labour Party. We also have the likes of Atiku, who has contested under the PDP for a series of, at different times, and yet he has not gotten that ticket. Now, all of them, El-Rufai, what is the interest of El-Rufai? El-Rufai says it's a payback to the current president. What is the interest of the likes of Amechi? Amechi is also wanting to pay back the APC in its own coin for not carrying him or giving him the recognition, rather appreciating Wike instead of him. Then what is the interest of the former Senate President, David Mark? All of them coming together. Fine. Let's look at it. How would this work? Now, Peter Obi has said he would not step down. Atiku has served as vice presidential candidate under Obasanjo in their own dispensation. And Atiku will not step down for any of these persons. Not Peter Obi nor any other person when it comes to the presidential candidate arrangement. They are all presidential aspirants. From the beginning, there's a quagmire. The quagmire is what has started. The followers of Peter Obi have said that they will not go less than the presidential office. The Atiku will not step down to serve as vice president to Peter Obi. These are the two candidates who are actually vying for the position, who want to vie for the position of the presidency. Now, how would this all play out? there is an unwritten rule by the political parties themselves, as started by the PDP, that the South will rule for 8 years, and then the North will rule for 8 years. Apparently, that is what influenced Peter Obi to say that they should give him the opportunity to serve Nigeria in the office of the president, and then he will do just one tenure. That one tenure is as a result of the current president is serving 4 years. This one is running now, and the next will be just another 4 years for the South, and that is what he is saying they should give to him to take. But would an Atiku step down for Peter Obi? Peter Obi had served Atiku as vice presidential candidate under the PDP arrangement, which did not work out at a point in time. That gave way to Peter Obi moving from the PDP back to the Labour Party from ABGA. You see the movement of Peter Obi from ABGA to PDP, from PDP back to Labour Party, and now to the ADC. All of these persons coming around, are they bedfellows?
All right.
No, they are all
right, Mr. Umaru. Question is it not normal for you to have a lot of aspirants for the position of Mr. President, in a particular political party? So what's different in what's happening in the ADC? And why the many problems that the new coalition that has taken over ADC, why are they having problems so early?
Samara, can you hear us?
Hello?
Mr. Moro, please, can you kindly unmute yourself?
Okay, I guess while we're trying to get that done, we should. I really worry why we have this issue of people showing so much concern that this person wants to run and that person wants to run. Isn't it normal? We have it in every other political party. At the end of the day, the primaries within the party will decide on who the ticket goes to. What do you think, Ibrahim?
Well, it's a normal thing because they're all coming together, bound by similar interests, maybe not the same. We have Amechi, we have Peter Obi, we have Atiku, who Atiku had not openly said that that he will be running for president. Yeah. But we have Peter Obi who is saying that yes, he is going to spend one term, even though he's not guaranteed that he will pick up the ticket. Rotimi Amechi is also saying yes, I will not do more than a term. They're already promising what they will do. But one thing is, it is one thing that unites them that might eventually, separate them if they don't manage it, very well. Because if you go to the social media, supporters of each candidate, well, each aspirant, let me put it, professionally, each aspirant, the supporters, they're already fighting themselves on the social media. Yeah. Like, no, Peter Obi is the best man for the job. Rotimi Amechi is the best man for the job, and the North, who are supporting Atiku, you know that the North also has a very huge, important role to play when it comes to gerrymandering, where we have block votes, large chunk of votes coming from this part of the country. I mean, from that part of the country, that region. They are saying that no, it is the time of the North. Enough of the South. We want the North to get back to that apogee. So if they don't manage this, internal brewing wranglings among them, then that might be the end, because they will be they'll be distracted so much so that the APC will just have a
And what I'll say is that I really worry that at the early stage we're already seeing this kind of problems. That is my worry. 2027. Okay, I think we have Mr. Moro back on. Mr. Moro?
Mr. Moro?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, the question I asked before we had that glitch is it not normal that we have a lot of aspirants saying, I would like to run as president under this platform? Is it not a normal political thing that has been happening over and over again? What is special about the ADC having the same issue? And number two, question I asked
Can we
is...
take them one? Can we take them one after the other so that we don't...
Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Because when you ask the question so many, I think this Zoom will also go off again. It's also protesting.
All right, go ahead, go ahead.
It is absolutely normal for people to vie for positions, not just in the ADC, but with other political parties. It is democratic. It is a function of democracy. As much as they meet with the requirements and qualification as set, as put in place by the umpire. That's talking about in the INEC. So absolutely yes, it is normal.
Okay.
Now,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, but what is not normal in this arrangement is that you have some political heavyweights who would not want to bend for the other, whichever way you want to see it. And I also told you earlier on that there's this unwritten political arrangement between political parties as instituted by the PDP, where they say 8 years is for the South, 8 years is for the North, irrespective of what region you have. Buhari had 8 years. The South is having its own first 4 years of the 8 years. And I also told you that that's the reason why Peter Obi told the Northerners that if given the opportunity, he will be doing just one tenure and not a two. Of course, that is not debatable, and that he knows, and everybody knows. Again, you want to say that whether the South in the ADC, those from the South in the ADC, we want to give in to the North to take their own 4 years. You remember what happened to Jonathan? If you return to the Jonathan antecedents, the North did not give Jonathan that opportunity to lead again a second time because they felt that Jonathan was running their own, what was supposed to be their own. Okay? And so that will also still play out. Then take it to the political arrangement in the ADC as it is now. David Mark is from North Central. David Mark is the acting chairman. Would David Mark want to step down at the next convention for another person to become chairman? Now, whoever becomes chairman will determine where the ADC is tilting its presidential arrangement towards. Because both the presidential candidate and the chairman of the party would not come from the same region. This is an unwritten agreement which we have seen over time, started by the PDP, moved on to the APC, and so on and so forth. So if you put all of this together, it is obvious that a certain Peter Obi and his followers would not go down, would not bow to a northern candidate to take over the leadership of the APC as presidential candidate. Now, what is the risk in that? Let us look at it from this point of view. The block of votes comes from some parts of the South, the Southwest, for instance, where the current president has been able to build into a block. You know, over time, he worked towards it and achieved it and made the Southwest a bargaining power to any region who wants the presidential arrangement. If you remember all of that, now, block of votes will come from Southwest, block of votes will come from Northwest, also from the northern side of it. Now, the Southeast, over time, has not even been able to play themselves into becoming a block to be discussed with in terms of determining who becomes the president during elections in this country. This is bad. This is not right. But all of this has been put in place by the politicians themselves. Now, the South, if the South says they will not vote for a particular candidate from the North, then there's a problem. Now, if the Northwest, particularly, and the Northeast say they will not vote for a particular candidate that is coming from the South, then there will be a problem. So there's already a quagmire, and ADC is facing all of this. They are trying to see how all of this can be resolved, but I bet you the time is too short for them to achieve all of that. If you ask me what I thought the ADC should have done now by this arrangement of wanting to gain power, push APC out of power at all costs, which is not bad, which is not out of place, is to begin from the scratch, begin to build. I think they should have concentrated on winning gubernatorial elections in so many states, win National Assembly election, both the House of Reps and Senate in so many states, win local government election in so many states, and then use all of this to form a bloc to now project and win the presidential election, not in 2027,
Mr. Moro,
but perhaps in 2031.
You're actually speaking to people who are gunning for this position, who age is not on their side any longer. I mean, because what they want is what they want now. But you're saying that in an ideal system, that should be the thing to do. But the aspirants are already, jostling for these positions, and analysts like you had said that Atiku and Obi had bungled the chance that they had in 2023, and it looks like it might not, necessarily repeat itself in 2027. Maybe are we seeing a deja vu of what happened in 2023? And how do you think, apart from what you advised, which I feel is utopian, how do you feel they can navigate this murky waters, that is already building up in their midst, separating them one way or the other, so much so that they present a strong front ahead of 2027? What other shortcuts do you think is likely for them to navigate?
Well, let me begin with the last question. The shortcut is to allow Peter Obi to become the presidential candidate and get another person, maybe perhaps a Rufai, to serve under him as the vice president. If you have those two arrangements, well, the votes from the South will be shared, because the Southeasterners will vote for that party, a part of the Southwest will vote for that arrangement, and then a part of the South-South will also vote for that arrangement, considering the strength of the OB movement.
So you want Atiku to go back home to sleep or to do what?
It's not what I want. It's about the question you asked.
Sorry. You think. Let me just put it that way.
What will help this arrangement? And I'm telling you, I'm giving you my own opinion.
Yeah.
It's not about what I want, because my vote is just for one person.
Yeah.
And now, if you have all of that, now you would have been, that is a more ideal thing that would have divided the votes from the South. And then the Northerners will now wait for after 4 years, when Peter Obi does just 4 years as agreed. And when he leaves office, the jostling will now return to the North, and Atiku can now return. If an Atiku now returns, then he can now take over that office, where the Northerners will now vote for him. And then that is if APC is unable to provide a very strong Northern candidate at the next election, if they succeed in this one. But let me tell you what I saw, Ibrahim. Yeah. I read somewhere, which is not, I've not been able to verify that, because I've not been able to speak with Peter Obi, for instance, to confirm that arrangement. It is alleged that what we are seeing now is a kangaroo arrangement. That at the end of the day, a Peter Obi, allegedly, please note, a Peter Obi and Atiku will contest at the primaries. Of course, the Northerners will stand solidly behind an Atiku, and then they will give it to an Atiku, and Peter Obi will lose out. But for Peter Obi not to go, he will be pressured, and a lot of appeals will come to him. He will be lobbied to serve under the Atiku to repeat the same 2003 arrangement as vice presidential candidate. And then when all of that is done, he would now accept to serve, to say that after that arrangement, when Atiku would have served for 8 years, when it will want to come back to the South, they will not give that same ticket to him to serve as president from the South. But this will create a lot of hula baloo amongst the followers of the obedient. Because most of them,
not to cut you short, you're aware that Peter Obi had said that he's not going to be the vice presidential candidate. He said it in an interview. Are you aware of that?
Why won't I be aware? Am I not a Nigerian? I'm also a journalist.
Okay.
That's right.
I'm not just a Nigerian, I'm also a journalist with at least 2 publications, a traditional publication and an online publication that runs almost on a daily basis. I follow the trends. I'm aware. And I know the way it is, and I'm giving you all the angles, perhaps, which you may not have seen. I have given you several angles and several possibilities, and one of these possibilities must come to pass. For instance, the ADC is aware that the moment Peter Obi in that arrangement, Peter Obi will leave and move to another party, perhaps go back to his Labour Party again. And then if they do that, Peter Obi will be moving away with his followers, who are majorly youths. And the ADC is counting on the followers of a Peter Obi to enable this conglomeration workout. So, if you're asking if I'm aware, my sister, 100%. More aware.
So is he going to go back on his word? That my question is, will Peter Obi go back on his word?
That's what I just explained to you, that I saw somewhere. I said allegedly.
Allegedly, okay.
It is
okay.
I don't. It's like you're not really following my line of thought. Or well, my.
No, it's just for clarity.
For clarity, because he said it. Peter Obi had said it. So just for clarity.
My dear sister, for clarity's sake, no one can tell precisely what Peter Obi will do for now.
Right. Even he himself may not be able to say.
But if you have to follow the words of Peter Obi, he has said that if you don't give him the presidential candidate, it's that or nothing in the new arrangement. And I have explained, now if they must give to a Peter Obi, a David Mark will not be able to hold the position of chairman of the ADC.
That's right.
At the next convention the ADC will have to determine who becomes the chairman and the other executive positions, David Mark will be out of that equation. Would he want to be out of the equation at this point in time? Would they want to give it to Aregbesola to become the chairman, and then the thing goes to the north? Would they want to give it to a David Mark and then the thing comes to the south? Both the chairman and the presidential candidate cannot come from the same zone. That is talking about the north and south separation now as put together by most of the political party, started by the PDP.
That's right.
Oh, that's quite interesting.
It's a very dicey one.
Very, very dicey.
It's a very dicey one for the ADC at this point in time. If the ADC are looking at one candidate, say a Peter Obi, for instance, it would have been easier for them. But an Atiku will not want to bow down because, one, he has tried consistently under different political parties. He has his age, like Ibrahim mentioned, not quite long. Age is not on his side. And then perhaps this could just be the last straw, the last shot he would want to have at it. I'm sure if Nigerians don't give it to him this time, I don't think he would want to come in 2031. But otherwise, as it were, right now, it's not certain what will happen in ADC. Is this the beginning and end of the ADC? Because I'm sure if this arrangement being put together by the ADC does not work in 2027, I foresee that most of these persons who came from other political parties will want to return to their parties. And don't forget, the APC is not resting on their oars. You can see that both from the north and the south, the APC is doing so much to even convert governors to joining the APC. They are also doing that at the National Assembly. They are also doing so at the State Assembly. But all of these will be determined by the outcome of the primaries of the ADC. The ADC will begin to see problems if they don't sit together and really reason very well for as per some of these things I have raised. One, the unconstitutional agreement between political parties that the North will take 8 years and the South will take 8 years. If they don't put that into consideration and give to the South to contest against another Southerner to divide the votes in the South amongst the Southerners, there's going to be a problem. If they take it to the North, where the South will vote, give protest vote against another Northerner like they did against Jonathan, where even PDP members voted against Jonathan, just to push him out and take power back to the North, then it will also be a problem. But give or take, whether to the right or to the left, we have ADC have a very big issue in their hands, which must be managed. If they don't manage that egg well, and it drops, it will break, and it will pieces.
Amazing.
Then you want to ask, why the choice of ADC? Why not SDP? Why not the Kwakwanso party? Where is the Kwakwanso in all of this arrangement?
Mr. Moro, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to have you. Your insights are definitely wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show with us. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to have you back on the studio. All right, thank you so much. Now, still ahead